Welcome to the Moto Mutley channel. Welcome back to the Moto Mutley show. Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the Moto Mutley channel. All right, guys, welcome back to the Moto Mutley channel. Thanks a lot for coming and hanging out with me. Welcome to the winter talking head layer of Moto Mutley. This is where I do a lot of editing and stuff like that. So as it's too cold and snowy out to be riding around, here I am making a video for school and for consumption on YouTube, on my YouTube channel. Anyway, so what we're going to talk about today is just exactly that. How did I get here? What was the magical, twisted set of events that put all this in motion? And I think it best started when where I grew up, which was Rollinsville, Colorado, which is a little south of Nederland, Colorado, and a little west of the Peak to Peak Highway down there. It's an old train town. It's an old mining town, been around forever. There was some very old buildings in that little town. Anyway, lots of fun. We were up the street from there, and it was a great place to grow up. It really was. We had the river to fish in, the woods to play in, but it was a little bit isolated. On my 11th birthday, my dad solved that problem for me and bought me a 1977 Honda Z50A, which was a nice little mini bike, not a full-fledged dirt bike per se, but you know, for an 11-year-old boy, it was the stuff, man. And a lot of my friends had these kind of hand-me-down patchwork bikes. Maybe they run, maybe they don't. At any rate, for the amount of teasing they gave me over my bike, they broke down a lot, and I think there's a lot more teasing to be given for them having to ride home double with one of their other buddies. Anyway, that's kind of how that goes. We had great fun. That was just beautiful to explore that, and a wonderful way to grow up. That said, on my 15th birthday, my father, I guess, thought that I had earned a big boy motorcycle, and he got me a Honda 185, an XL 185S. S stands for street. That bike is a street legal bike. It was an enduro bike. It was a big boy bike. I still have that thing in running condition at the cabin where I grew up. It's, what is it now? I don't know, 50 years later? I don't know. But anyway, it's a lot of years later, and that thing still runs like a top. With almost little or no maintenance on it, which is kind of the Honda way of things. The other thing that was kind of hit me in the beginning was that we had a family relative, a close relative that worked for Eastman Kodak, and so we had all the film that we can stand, all the processing that we can stand. I think we had they called it a M9 or an N9 little cassette handy cam recorder that shot 8mm film. I learned how to edit that in junior high school. I think my dad even, maybe it was a garage sale he found it in, but he got me a little editor, you know, like the pros had. I paid $15 for it, used. I remember him belaboring that point. And that and some film tape, and I was off to the races for days on end. I just really enjoyed that. To have some of that film back these days, I think it got lost in the shuffle when I went away to high school. But at any rate, don't have it. I would kill to have that for this channel, for YouTube now. So that's the start of it, where it's actually inspired by, I guess that's the beginning of it all. But what I was mostly inspired by was a couple of TV series. The first one was called Long Way Around, where Ewan McGregor and Charlie Bowman did this kind of documentary production of riding their BMW GSs around the world. Now, they had chase vehicles and mechanics and other motorcycles with them that were filming them while they were riding, so it was a real production thing. They also did another one where they went from the top of Scotland all the way down to the bottom of the world at Cape Town, South Africa. Same kind of thing. Big budget deal, lots of money spent, which triggered something. Now, in the triggering of this, people began to emerge and are still doing it on YouTube. First of which I caught by mistake was a guy called Road Trip Down, and he was circumnavigating the earth for the second time on his Honda Africa Twin, and wasn't doing it the easy way. He doing it the hard way, doing his own filming. He had a drone. He was editing his own stuff in the field. It was very impressive, and I just happened to run across him. I said, you know what? I'm in. I can do that. So stupidly, I didn't give it the credit it deserved. I went and got. I was going to cheap out on the deal. I was going to get a couple of used GoPro 4s off of eBay, which I did. Bad plan. And then I downloaded some free editing software, and I never did work out some problems of how they were able to ride and narrate at the same time. There was a lot of thank God I didn't spend a lot of money getting into this, because it did allow me to make some good decisions on how to get a good camera. I wound up with an Insta360 X2, and now replaced by an X3, which is a 360 degree camera that can operate with one finger and a gloved hand, just clip, and it's ready to go off to the races. I solved the sound problem of going down the road at 80 miles an hour and still being able to talk to you exactly like how I am now, with a DJI little microphone that I record to. I don't actually send it to the camera then, but I just clip it to the side of my helmet or put it down in the front of my face mask in the adventure helmet, and it allows me without much trouble to communicate well. And then the last thing is I really dedicated myself to learning Adobe Premiere Pro, and spent a couple of years doing that and getting better, which allows you to solve a lot of other problems later. They always say, well, we'll catch that later in post. You know what? It's true. It's okay to make a couple of mistakes, because there are some things you can catch later and figure it out. And so the last thing here, and I'm still working on this. I'm kind of new to it all, but so I've got, say, 20 videos up now, not counting shorts. And I'm pleased with this last summer's production quality of the videos. So now I gotta get the people of YouTube to enjoy watching these videos as much as I enjoy making them, and that means you have to deal with the dreaded algorithm. Great. So they change it all the time, for starters, but it's basic salesmanship is how I've kind of worked it out. The initial thing that they see is your thumbnail while they're scrubbing through looking at things, and if you have a thumbnail with some bright lettering on it that's and a good picture that catches the eye, that might reel them in. Or at the end of your videos, another thing that people recommend doing is they add the little cards. Click here to go back and see this episode. Click here to go, yeah. The idea is that they're keeping that viewer on your channel, because you are rewarded in three ways. You're rewarded with subscribers. Repeat business is what that would ordinarily be called if you were a salesman. The watch time, overall watch time. Are they getting through the entire video? Are they going back through? So this accumulated watch time is how you wind up getting shaving ads and beautiful girls in bikinis. And the other thing is the amount of views you got. And I guess there's a fourth thing called a click-through rate, which is, okay, how many people saw my thumbnail and was caught by the thumbnail and the catchy title that I wrote, and then that actually went through and watched the video, or at least part of it, started it. They call that a click-through rate. Oh my God, it's a never-ending thing. But it's something that it's solvable. I think, that, hey, a lot of people that are way, way dumber than me have been way, way more successful on YouTube. So that's kind of the long and the short of it for today, kids. Thanks for listening, and a special shout out to my video editing teacher, Chad Williams. Thanks for a great semester. You've been a great teacher, and we sure appreciate you. And as always, all my subscribers, especially if you're new here, super cool. I'm glad to have you. If you've been hanging in there with me, I've got one guy that's hung in there with me for 3 years. We love that. We appreciate your support. All right, guys, have a great day, and we'll see you soon.